Hello everybody, welcome to my long-awaited ShengShou 6x6 review. Now it is Thanksgiving where I am and I have some people over, so don't mind if you hear them in the background. I purchased this ShengShou 6x6 from witeden.com and they are in Hong Kong and I'm in Western Canada and it shipped to me in 5 days. If you'd like to see the unboxing video, just click this annotation right there and it'll take you there. I did receive also the white one from 51morefun.com. However, this one I ordered 2 months ago as well as some other cubes and it took a very long time to get to me. However, I can't complain too much because I heard Champion is a very nice guy and he actually refunded my money for this and 4 other cubes. So I can't complain for free cubes. However, I would have rather just paid my money and got my cubes on time. So my first impressions on this from the unboxing when I pulled it out of the box is that it is the same size and weight as a V-Cube. However, it does feel a lot more sturdy than my V-Cube, but my V-Cube is broken in quite a bit and a little bit loose. The turning on this cube is really smooth. However, it does feel sluggish. And by sluggish, I mean over lubricated. Now, if you've ever taken, say, the brand of lube called Lubix to, say, a Diane cube or something similar, and you've overly lubed it and there's too much in there, it actually slows it down a bit. Now that's what this feels like, is it feels like it's slowed down. I will be taking the pieces out, wiping off the lube and reapplying Lubix to them, and that really helped for my ShengShou 5x5s. Let's get on to the corner cutting of this cube. So we'll do the standard 1 cubie. So that's 1 cubie, as you can see. And it will not cut 1 cubie. Let's go 3/4 of a cubie. And it cuts 3/4 of a cubie very nicely. How about the other side? Let's try 1 cubie. It'll go if you force it. Let's try the centers. 1 cubie. It'll cut 1 cubie. No problem. Let's try the very center, center to center. It'll cut, but you gotta force it. But we don't really cut during the center, do we? Now the stickers on this cube are pretty good from what I've seen. It's a nice dark rich blue to a somewhat light green, so the contrast is very nice. The orange to red is easily distinguishable for the difference, and the white and yellow is your standard white and yellow. I've heard some rumors about the internal mechanism that it is a V-Cube knockoff, but mixed with the alignment of a X-Cube 4. We're going to take a look at that pretty quick here. I've done a couple of solves on this already, and it is quite nice to solve. It's very smooth. There's no problems with it. It never comes out of alignment. It's pretty quick. I think it could be quicker if I tension and lube it properly. I haven't really done too much to it as I just got it. Now, this one came with bright stickers, as you can see. It's got like a really light yellow, red, green, orange, blue, and a standard white. And as you can see, like the blues are quite a lot lighter, so are those. The green is way lighter, the orange is lighter, and the yellow. So this is a full bright set from what I think, and Champion did send me another set. Now I've never used bright stickers before, so I don't know how I feel about them yet. But I heard that a half bright set is really good, where it's half regular stickers and then half bright stickers, so you can really tell the difference apart between them. So because I have another set of brights, I might just throw, 3 brights on yellow, orange, and green, or yellow, orange, and blue, something like that. Right now we're going to switch over to the white one, and we're going to open it up and see what it looks like. So let's see if it opens up just like a regular V-Cube, where you split it down the center, put your thumb in, and pop these out, and it does. I already see a little bit of differences between the pieces. As you can see, this one's got a bit of a flare on the end of it, and the V-Cube doesn't. Let's just keep opening this up. Again, this piece is quite different from the V-Cube. The design is the same, I guess, but it's got this flare on there. I'm not sure what that's for. It might be to make it not pop. Okay, there's one difference already that I can see between this and the V-Cube. Is usually when you get to this point of taking it apart, you can just pull this out, but you can't pull it out. It's really stuck in there, and there's some pieces that have some extra edges that go on top of the bottom part of the stock there. So we'll just keep disassembling it and see what happens. And as you can see from this point, it is the same V-cube design where it's got that centerpiece. However, it's got these two pieces in there, same as V-cube. Okay, now we've got it completely in half, and this is actually quite a bit different than the V-cube. Now, as you can see, it's got that, what they call the pi mod, and it's right there on the top. And what it does is it keeps this top part stationary in there, and it's the square piece right there that actually does the moving around. And unlike a V-cube, these pieces here stay in place. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to continue to take this apart, but let's just take all these other pieces off and see what happens. Okay, wow, so now it's totally apart and you can see the mechanism of this. Now that is quite interesting. These are fastened in place, the corners are fastened in place, so are these little inside edge pieces. I've never seen a design quite like this. Now there was rumors that this is a V-cube knockoff. However, that doesn't look like a V-cube to me. I mean, the pieces, sure, that looks like a V-cube, of course. But as far as the actual mechanism of this goes, that is not a V-cube design. It is definitely inspired by V-cube design, I'll give it that. But all in all, this is an original design. I guess in this state, it's kind of like a 2x2. You've got your 4 there, your 4 here, and you can turn them how you want. Oh, here it comes. Look at that, I accidentally took out a corner piece. I don't want to take it all the way out though, just in case it is a pain to get back in. You know what this actually reminds me of? This kind of reminds me of the V2 design. If you've ever seen a V-cube 2's internals, this kind of, the way that the corners are stuck in there, sort of like the flat piece where a V2 is almost kind of like a 3x3 on the inside. Well, that's kind of like what this is. This is the core of a V-cube 2. It actually kind of reminds me of the V-cube 2 a little bit, the way that the stems are fastened in place, and it's kind of like a 3x3 core. So I guess you could kind of say that it's a little bit like an X-cube, a little bit like a V2, and a little bit like a V6. Here are a couple of pieces from the inside. Now, as you can see from the side view, that they are different type of pieces. They look different, however they're the same size, and they're supposed to fit together, but I can't find a way that these actually fit together snugly. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'll have to figure that out when I'm putting it back together. Here's a centerpiece, and the only difference between this and the V-cube is that this one has this little white bump there, and I'm pretty sure that has something to do with keeping the center in alignment. Here's one of the edge pieces. As you can see, it's a little bit different. Now, can you see that right there? There's that little piece. That's from the injection, from the mold. That can come off. So I think I'm also going to go through all the other pieces and just get all those little pieces off as well. And of course, these fit like that. And there's not a whole lot different between this and the V-cube. This is one of the middle pieces. Again, is very V-cube design. And this is one of the other middle pieces. Now, it's sort of like the V-cube, except it's got this little tail on there. And I'm not sure what that's for, but I'm pretty sure I'll figure it out when I put it back together. And this is the actual mechanism up close. Now, you can see how that is locked in there. These pieces don't come out. I can pull and sort of bring one out. I don't want to bring it out all the way because I don't want to have to take this whole thing apart to put it back in if I have to. But you kind of get the idea that it's all stuck together. It's a really, really neat design. Okay, I'll get back to you when this thing is put back together. Okay, it's been a while. I have assembled the cube. I wiped the lube out of all the pieces, and I tried a little bit of Lubix, but that didn't really work too well, not like I thought it would. So I took that out and I replaced it with Maro Lube. Maro Lube actually worked very well with this cube. It still feels a little bit sluggish. It doesn't feel like it's scraping. The pieces are scraping against each other so much after I scraped all the little tiny bits of plastic from the mold off all of the pieces. That took quite a while itself. But doing the mod that I did to it, scraping all the plastic out and replacing the kind of lubricant, I wouldn't say that it's really worth the time it took, because it probably took about 3 hours to do all of that and assemble it back. It's a little bit difficult to assemble as the corner pieces are fastened in, so you got to kind of work around those with these little tiny pieces. But I did end up getting it, and it was a little bit of a puzzle itself to get back together. As for the black one, I'm not sure if I'll be opening this one up and replacing the lubricant. I might do it a little bit because it is a lot more sluggish than the white one now. You can even hear that compared to this. Hear how this one's not so crispy sounding where this one is now. This one's a little bit more sluggish, but it just seems like a lot of work to make it just a tiny bit faster. Okay guys, that's my review on this. I do recommend that you go out and buy one or both of these cubes. It's basically like having a modded V-Cube 6 instead of having to buy a V-Cube and then go through all the trouble to mod it. These are a lot cheaper and a lot better quality in my opinion. Okay guys, I'll see you on my next video.